Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and it is time for our May 2022 release hop. So I'm using our Stars and Stripes candies, those are new, our Warrior Princess stamp set, our card mat dies, our awareness ribbon. I'm also using the rectangle internal scallop dies and our mini tag dies 3 that I pull out a little later. So I've got the piece of cardstock that is paper tray ink white cardstock cut with our card mat die, and I've got it taped down just to, cover up the border. And I'm going to be doing some freehand stamping with that little soldier that's from the Star and Stripes Candy Grid Style stamp set. And I'm using Pink Diamond Altenew inks to do that. So easy stuff. I'm just quickly doing a freehand stamping. I find that if you do this and you go on the diagonal, it's a lot more forgiving. People can't really tell if it's crooked or not. I'm just going for an all over pattern of a soldier. Now, obviously, a lot of people would use this to thank a soldier for their service. I decided to go with a breast cancer card. I don't know what crossed my mind, but this is what crossed my mind. So I've got the white paper tray ink cardstock, and I'm just going to use Pink Diamond ink to color it. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this rectangle internal scallop die. That's the same size as the card mat die. I'm just going to be giving my card front a border. Now the darker pink cardstock is Hibiscus Burst paper tray ink cardstock, 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches to give you an A2 size vertical card. There we go. I just couldn't find a color of pink that matched that Pink Diamond Altenew ink perfectly, and you know how I'm crazy about that. I actually tried that other pink that's on the left, but I decided to just use it to give it a little bit dimension. So I will use it, but I'm not going to be using it as the color. There we go. So I'm going to start out with that. That I believe is paper tray ink cardstock too. I don't know the name of it offhand, but it's not, you could use a scrap for this. I just made a boo-boo. You see how it doesn't really match, and that kind of bothered me. So I'm going to weight that down with an acrylic block. You notice that I was using my art glitter glue. I'm going to do the exact same thing, and I'm going to stack up my next layer. That's the one that I did color with the Pink Diamond Altenew ink. There we go. And that matches a lot better, right? Sometimes the crazy pays off, right? There we go. So just lining that up. So I'm going with like a breast cancer awareness card, sort of like, be a warrior, when you're diagnosed with breast cancer. So that was my idea. So I'm just going to take my ATG tape and I'm going to apply this whole card front to the card base. Like I said, that's Hibiscus Burst from Paper Tray Ink. I just wanted to go with like a two-tone pink. There we are. So now I'm going to add a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of white cardstock to the inside of my card. This is just some cheapy Nina Solar White 65 pound. There we go. Add that with my ATG tape. Just because, I could use a white gel pen to write to the recipient on the inside. But, I do like to add white sometimes when the color's a little bit darker. There we go. Add that onto the inside and there. So now I'm going to stack my ribbon. I've got white. This is just a scrap piece of cardstock. I think it might be paper tray ink. I'm not sure. I'm going to add my pink Hibiscus Burst. There we are. And then I'm going to add my ink colored ribbon, the one that's going to match my background, to the Boo Boo cardstock that I cut out previously. So I'm going to have 4 layers. So it's going to make it, make it have a little bit of dimension without using foam tape on that. There we go. And that is totally a mistake. I didn't know I was going to make a mistake with the color. But it was a happy mistake because I kind of like the dimension. It turned out really well. And you can use scraps to do this. There we go. I'm going to weight it down with an acrylic block. So now I'm going to be stamping my sentiments. Those came from the Warrior Princess stamp set from Jaded Blossom. I've got a piece of paper tray ink black cardstock. I'm using my Misty Ink on 3's Juicy Ink. That is the a powder tool from Rabbit Hole Designs that I'm using. I just got it, so we'll be trying it out, see how well it works. There we are. And now I'm just going to quickly stamp my sentiment. So the one on the front says there's a warrior inside all of us. I thought it kind of went with the idea of the soldiers. It's just kind of fun. There we go. And obviously you could use this for Memorial Day cards or, you know, to thank a veteran, all those things. But I decided to go with breast cancer. I don't know what, it just kind of popped into my mind. That's what I should make. So now, like I said, I'm going to stamp the sentiments. The inside sentiment says fight like a girl, and that is also from the Warrior Princess stamp set. Now I'm using Brutus Monroe alabaster embossing powder. I'm just going to shake that over a coffee filter, and then I'll be using my Marvy Heat tool to melt it. I do stamp it again because I didn't really like my, I didn't like how it turned out. I'll only show you this one though. So we'll just melt this embossing powder. I was just heating up my tool there. I'm going to clip it on a clipboard just so I don't burn anything. And there we go. I'm going to melt the powder. I love melting embossing powder. I just think it's one of the many things I love about crafting, but I really like that. I don't know, there's something about that I love. There we are. So now I'm pulling out our mini tag dies 3, and I'm using this little flag end, or fishtail end, I guess it's called. And I'm going to line that up on my sentiment. You'll notice that it's a little bit too big, but I'm just going to do some selective die cutting. So I'm going to run it through first, like that, through my Gemini machine. All my die cutting today was done with my Gemini, as per usual. And you'll see how it's flat on one end and flagged on the other. Now I'm going to slide that fishtail into place. And you can kind of lock it into the stitching that's already on the other side that you cut. And once it's lined up, I'm going to tape it in place, and I will run it through my die cutting machine, my Gemini. And look at that, you've got a perfectly, like, it's a little bit smaller and it fits your sentiment perfectly. At first I thought I was going to straddle the ribbon, but I changed my mind again, right? There we go. So now I'm going to cut out the Fight Like a Girl, and I will use another one of our little mini tag dies. You see that up in the right hand corner, and I'm just going to leave it flat on one side because I'll have it coming in from the right hand side of the inside of the card. So I'm going to line up this sentiment on the front of my card base here. I'm just using some art glitter glue, my reverse tweezers. There we go. And then I will stick down my awareness ribbon in the center of the sentiment, and hopefully the center of the card. You know how it goes. And I will overlap the sentiment just a little bit. There we go. And that's that. So this was a super easy card. There we go. And then I'm going to add a sentiment coming in from the lower right-hand side. There we go, that Fight Like a Girl. And then I will trim off the overhang. There we are. So easy, easy stuff. I decided to add a little bit of bling, so I pulled out my glossy accents, and I'm going to add some pretty pink posh sparkling clear confetti. And I'm going to have it, them sprinkled around, sort of straddling the image a little bit. No rhyme or reason. I'm just using my Studio Katia embellishment wand to pick up the little confetti. Now, just so you know, I do have another video for today. I made 2 cards, but they really didn't match, so I didn't want to put them in the same video. So I've got a second video that's more Happy 4th of July, and that will be up on my YouTube channel, Lee Kubnik, and also, or is it Leanne K? Well, whatever, my YouTube channel and Jaded Blossom's YouTube channel. So there will be 2 videos making cards today. And then there will also be a release and review video to look out for that will have me putting together all the gnomes. So that's that. So there we go. So we got all of the little confetti in place. Now I'm going to pull out my Nouveau Crystal Drops in Simply White. They're kind of my favorite. And I'm going to add little droplets to the center of all of these little confetti. And then I will be done. That's the card. I'll have to set it to the side to dry. But other than that, that is it. So super quick and easy. I'm just going to make sure that those droplets flatten a little bit. But that's it. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog. Get inspired at the Jaded Blossom store. Maybe get your hands on this whole release. It's awesome. And check out my other videos for today. And that is all. So thank you for watching. We'll see you soon in my next one. Bye, everyone.